Okay, guys, let's look at some examples of how you use law of sines to solve problems in non-right triangles, okay? You will need to use a scientific calculator. You should have access to one on your Chromebooks. If not, you can go to Desmos.com. They've got a scientific calculator available for you on there. And one other thing I wanted to talk to you about, guys, is that you can also write these ratios as reciprocals. Like before I said sine of angle A over side A equals sine of angle B over side B equals sine of angle C over side C. Well, you could also flip all that around and say side A over sine of angle A equals side B over sine of angle B equals side C over sine of angle C. That works as well, okay? All you're doing is just flipping it around. And you really only need a couple of these to cross multiply and to solve for what's missing. For instance, if I look at this example right here where it says find AC, okay? Well, I've got this angle and I'm trying to solve for that side, and I've also been given this angle and I'm trying to solve for that side, okay? Well, I know that the sine of this angle over that side is equal to the sine of this angle over that side. So what I can do is I can say sine of 29 over 17 equals sine of 92 over x. Okay, guys? So there you're just going to do your cross multiplication. Sine of 29 times x equals sine of 92 times 17. All right? You don't want to do any figuring right now and rounding. You want to wait and do all that at the very end. Do all of your rounding at the very, very end, okay? Because it's very sensitive and you may get an answer that's off by a decimal or two if you round too quickly. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to go ahead and isolate my x. So I'm going to divide both sides by sine of 29. And then when I do my final calculating, I'm going to say sine of 92 times 17, and then I'm going to divide that by sine of 29. That's how long x is going to be. And it's going to round to about 35 centimeters. Okay, guys? So that's how you would solve that one. All right, now let's look at one where you're trying to find an angle. So I'm trying to find the measure of angle B. So I'm going to put a theta here for angle B. And so I'm given this angle, and I know the length of the side opposite of that angle, and I've been given this angle, and I know the length of the side opposite that one, okay? So again, I can say sine of 69 over 24.5 equals sine of theta, I don't know what that is, over 20. All right, so again, I'm going to cross multiply. Sine of 69 times 20 equals sine theta times 24.5. Okay, guys? So if we go ahead and isolate sine of theta, what we're going to do is we're going to take sine of 69 times 20, and then we're going to divide that by 24.5. When we do, we get 0.7621 equals sine of theta. And that's where you're going to do one of those inverse ratios, okay, and find the length of the angle. So do the inverse second key and then sine, and then you're going to type in 0.7621, and you'll find out that theta is equal to 49.6 degrees. Okay? So that's how you solve that one. All right, let's look at another example. It says find AB. All right, well, AB is over here. Again, I'll put an X here. It's opposite this 49.2 degree angle. And here I'm given a 77 degree angle, and it's opposite that 38.6 yard length side. So I can go ahead and say sine of 77 over 38.6 equals sine of 49.2 over x. So again, I'm just going to do my cross multiplication. Sine 77 times x equals sine 49.2 times 38.6. Okay? Divide both sides by sine of 77. Okay? And x is going to equal, we're going to multiply sine of 49.2 times 38.6, and then divide that by sine of 77, and you're going to get x equals 30 yards. Okay? There you go. Finally, here it says to find the measure of angle C. So we're going to have to use another one of those inverse trig ratios. So I'm going to label that theta again, and I'm going to say I know that that's opposite my 11 centimeter side, and then I've got this 98-degree angle that's opposite my 19 centimeter side. So again, like I said, you could say 19 over sine of 98 equals 11 over sine theta. You could set it up that way. You'd still get the right answer. So I could say sine of 98 times 11 equals sine of theta times 19. Okay, you're still going to end up dividing both sides by 19. Okay, so sine of theta is going to end up being 0.5773. And then we're going to do one of those inverse trig ratios, and we'll figure out that theta is about 35 degrees. Okay, guys? So that's how you use law of sines given those particular scenarios. Just look at what you've been given, and then you can go ahead and use it to solve for what you're missing. Okay? Now let's look at using